Hello there. Welcome to the Health Coach Nation podcast. My name is Hailey Rowe. I'm a marketing and sales coach and strategist and LinkedIn lead generation service provider. And I specialize in helping coaches and online service providers with starting and growing their business, how to get your first or next clients, how to get more consistent with your marketing and visibility, how to basically get clients without the social media overwhelm, the mindset blocks, the spinning your wheels, not knowing the steps, without those things holding you back. And today we're going to talk about something that I've seen hold a lot of people back, and even myself at times in my business, which is imposter syndrome, fear of visibility, and wanting to kind of hide, because let's face it, hiding feels safer. It feels safer to not put yourself out there, not subject yourself to rejection, not subject yourself to people not liking your content or not liking your opinion about something. And I know for many of my clients who work in the wellness field, they fear that they might be wrong about something sometimes, or change their opinion on something sometimes with new science or new data that comes out. And so sometimes they're worried too about getting something wrong, and that being something that causes them to not share tips, not share value, not go out there and do their mission's work, right? So today we're going to go through 3 ways you can overcome fear of visibility. And I feel like this is such a topic that I can relate to right now, because number one, at the time of making this video, my cheek's kind of swollen on one of my sides, and most of you probably can't tell, but I can tell. I had to get some orthodontic work, and they numbed the side of my cheek, and for some reason, for several days now, it's like puffy and can't move very well. And I feel like a robot because I can't move the side of my face. But I can have feeling there, but it's definitely not super cute. But also, I'm going through wearing braces this year for the first time since I was like in my teenage years. So I'm embarrassed about that. And I'm embarrassed about how my teeth have changed, because I had a dentist, which I will share on another podcast episode, a whole scandal where a dentist kind of took the wrong approach with me, according to several other professional opinions now that I've gotten. And now I have to correct the work, and now I have screws in my mouth, I have braces, I feel self-conscious about them, I don't like the way they look, and I'm going through like puberty all over again. And I've also had times in my business where my skin has been really bad, like acne and bumps, and I feel embarrassed about that. So I know what it feels like to feel like you don't want to show up. You don't want to be visible. You don't want to be on camera. You don't want to go places in person because you're embarrassed either about something physically, or more so from a standpoint of you're new to talking on camera and you're embarrassed about your accent, or you feel like you don't roll with the punches super easily and you have to over prepare. I had those days too in my business where I would go live, I would blank on what I was going to say, and I would turn red and my voice would shake, and I could not wait until it was over. And sometimes I even went back to the videos and I deleted them afterwards. So let's just say that this is normal, because we all have to kind of stink at first, putting in the reps, not being very good on camera, not feeling very good about ourselves on camera, until we realize we didn't die. It's not as bad as we thought, and we can do this because it's worth it for our mission. Our mission and wanting to help people and wanting to do our job has to be greater than our self-doubt. Okay, so before I get into the tips, I just want to share things that my clients have shared with me that they're self-conscious about, so that you know you're not alone. Their weight. So I've had health coaches come to me and say, hey, I want to be a health coach, but right now I don't feel super good about my weight and I'm working on it, or I had a surgery that causes me to not be able to work out or whatever, and they're feeling self-conscious about it. I've had clients worried about their wrinkles. I've had clients worried about their accent. I've had clients worried that they're going to say the wrong thing or not be able to answer somebody's question live, and they're going to feel really caught off guard, and then they get paralyzed and they don't try. So I understand this fear, number one, because I work with many clients who have dealt with this, but number two, because I personally, like I told you, have had changes to my teeth, and even my speech has come across like different since I've started this whole dental journey, and I'm trying to get it fixed, and I'm trying to do the actions I'm supposed to do to fix everything, but it takes time. And so I have to go through this transition publicly on video because I'm not going to check out from my business, right? So here's the thing though, our life things that we deal with, whether it's you're worried about your weight, you're worried about what you look like, whatever, can be our best teachers to better help our clients. Because chances are, if you're a coach, you're going to work with clients who have things they're very self-conscious about that limit them in their life. So I want you to take whatever you're self-conscious about, whatever you're hiding from when it comes to visibility, and I want you to use it as, how can I coach myself through this? How can I not let this limit me so that I can better be prepared to help my clients when they struggle with it too? And as I said before, how can I make my mission so big and so important to me that how I look or how I sound isn't as important? That's just yes, that might have a little bit of weight and might wear on me sometimes, but I don't let it stop me. I don't let it derail me, right? So now let's get into the 3 tips to help you overcome your fear of visibility and not hide and get out there. So the first tip is, there will always be, this is kind of a reminder, there will always be people out there by society standards who are prettier than you, better than you in some way, shape, or form. We could always find reason that someone else is doing something better than you are. Okay. Should we spend our attention on that? No. Does that really matter? No. And here's why. So what? Somebody wants to hear the message from you because they relate to you. Someone wants to see you and learn it, you be their mentor compared to somebody else. So even though someone else out there might be more quote unquote perfect than you, perfection is not what people relate to. And it's not what people are actually going to want. So my question is, yes, there will be someone better than you. So what? Who cares? And answer that question. Why does it not matter that much? Why are you not going to let that stop you? And the other thing is, do you want the fact that someone else will always be better than you to cost you from helping people, making an impact, being an example for your clients, and maybe, someone else is better, but just remember that you're good too, right? And there have been times where I've compared myself to somebody else in a conversation with somebody. Like recently I was talking to my dad about something, and he was like, well, you're good at that too. And sometimes we don't see it because we think we just put ourselves on like a very humbling, not pedestal, like the opposite of a pedestal. We put ourselves down here and we put everyone else up here. But that's just how our brains work. It's not necessarily true, but remember that yes, someone else might be really good and great, but you're good too. And here's why. And come up with those reasons and remind yourself of that. Because if you cannot advocate for yourself and think about, yes, I may not be the best, or I may be working on my skill, but here's why I still think that I can do this. You have to fight for yourself and give yourself those reasons to show up. So that's number 1, is write down, yes, I may not be the best, but so what? And answer that question. Number 2, remember that nobody else sees your flaws as much as you do. So half of the people, especially if you fear being on video, most people watch on their phone and they're not really listening, and they're driving, and they're not staring at you and analyzing your face at every moment of the video. And if they are, that's weird. That's on them. That's not on you. So nobody else sees your flaws as much as you do. And half of the people, like I said, are not even looking at you when they watch videos or they listen to your podcast or whatever. The other thing is, if you're not perfect with your speech or you stumble on your words or whatever, again, who cares as long as you're still getting the message out? Sometimes you have to go public, work through the kinks to get good. Anybody who's gotten good at anything had reps at the beginning that were very bad. If you've ever seen a live, do you guys remember, actually, if you know who Lana Del Rey is, do you remember her first performance on Saturday Night Live? Everyone was like, oh, she sounded so bad. She didn't sound like the record. She's so weird. And she was figuring out her style, and some people thought it was great. Some people didn't. But as you saw her perform more and more, she got more comfortable. She got amazing. Okay, right? So just remember that you got to go through the reps. You don't get to skip that part. And you have to support yourself through that. And then tip number 3 is you are probably a lot, like if you're saying, who would want to listen to me? I want to hide. I don't, who really wants to hear my advice? Just remember that you are probably a lot more interesting and have a lot more value to bring than you think. It's about pulling out your strengths, highlighting your stories, sharing things that others need to hear today, and focusing on your audience more so than yourself. So if you don't know what makes you different, unique, and someone who is worth listening to, you need to brainstorm that, because you need to get sold on yourself and your mission and your offers to a point where you can go forward and share value. So if you don't know what makes you unique, or you don't know why people would want to listen to you, I want you to think about 10 interesting, life-changing moments you've been through that allows you to speak on a subject, or that makes you interesting, or that helps you better help other people. So 10 life-changing moments for you that you've gotten through, that you've survived through or thrived through, that make you an expert or help you better share with others. Number 2, think about obstacles you've overcome. Think about interesting traits you have or interesting stories you have to tell that only you can tell. And think about any weaknesses you've turned into strengths. And think about what other people like about you. What if other people told you, hey, it seems like it's really easy for you to do XYZ. Do you have advice for me about that? And those are going to be things that you're going to want to highlight. You're going to want to focus on. Because so often our brain gets focused on all the reasons why we don't think we're good enough. We don't think we can get out there and make a difference. But give just as much airtime to why you totally can. Okay? And the other thing is, when I sing in a wedding band, and you always want to think about when you're in your coaching business or going live or applying for an opportunity, rather than thinking of the world's out to get you and it's so hard or whatever, think about people want you to be great. People want you to feel to succeed. People, when I was younger and I used to go on auditions, I would think the casting director, they want me to be the part. Why? Because they want to end the audition process. It's long, it's annoying, it takes time. So they want me to be good. They want me to be the one so they can stop this search. It's the same thing when I do band gigs. The audience wants to have a good time. They want to be entertained. They're not thinking about, over analyzing every note I sing or anything like that. They just want to have a good time. They're not out to get me. And if I think that way, I show up more calm. I show up less nervous. I think of myself as a part of the crowd instead of like, oh, I'm up here and I have to be so shy and all of that. So just remember that people want, like, think the world is good, think that people want you to succeed. And when you come at going live or putting yourself out there from that energy, it feels a lot better than, oh my God, everyone's just waiting for me to mess up. Everyone just wants me to do poorly. It's just not true. And if you feel that way, it's probably because you had some kind of experience that made you believe that, but we don't have to hold on to that every day for the rest of our lives, right? So if you are wanting to work on your visibility and get support with that and put yourself out there, put your business out there, because let's face it, if nobody knows you exist, nobody's going to come to you for coaching. Nobody's going to come to you for your service. So part of having a business is being very visible. And if you need help with that, you can reach out to me, book a free consult at haileyrowe.com. We'll talk about your goals. We'll talk about your challenges. We'll talk about a roadmap you could use to grow your visibility in your business and see if private coaching or the inner circle or the Work Smart Marketing Club is right for you. And if you want to check out a freebie that could help you with how to get out there more in your content, I have a free content roadmap that'll give you both ideas of what you can post, how you can post it, how you can give calls to action in your posts. So if you want to check that out, you can go to haileyrowe.com/content-roadmap and check that out, and it will give you content ideas. And now your role is to overcome that fear of visibility and actually put it out there. I want to see your content. I want to see you out there shining. Remember, people want to see you out there doing well. And I'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks for watching.